Vasishta is in conversation with Bhusunda, who is a crow of immense longevity. Bhusunda has actually lived through several world cycles. So in effect, he's actually lived longer than the gods. And Vasishta's asking him about this. I have a theory that Bhusunda is actually very subtle remnants of the ego principle. And they're so subtle and so long-lasting that they can even be mistaken for liberation. And I suspect also that what Vasishta is doing is pursuing some inquiry into these elements. Now though, we've got a description of previous universes coming up. And these descriptions, they're like descriptions of alternate universes or parallel universes. And one wonders what the point of these descriptions is. Possibly one of the points is that we should loosen ourselves from our attachment to the notion that this is somehow absolute, that this universe that we live in now is somehow absolute. On the other hand, we actually experience parallel universes or alternate universes on a regular basis. Each time we go to sleep and have a dream, we are in a universe which can be very much like the waking universe, or quite different from it. So there is this possibility that Bhusunda actually is still caught up in his notions. Vasistha asked, "You enjoy longevity, as would suggest that you have attained final liberation, and you are wise, brave, and you are a great yogi. Pray tell me what extraordinary events you remember relating to this and the previous world cycles." Bhusunda said, "I remember that once upon a time there was nothing on this earth, no trees and plants, not even mountains. For a period of 11,000 years the earth was covered by lava. In those days there was neither day nor night below the polar region, for in the rest of the earth neither the sun nor the moon shone. Only one half of the polar region was illumined. Then demons ruled the earth. They were deluded, powerful and prosperous. The earth was their playground. Apart from the polar region, the rest of the earth was covered with water, and then for a very long time the whole earth was covered with forests, except the polar region. Then there arose great mountains, but without any human inhabitants. For a period of 10,000 years the earth was covered with the corpses of the demons. At one time the gods who used to roam the skies had vanished from sight on account of fear, and the earth had become more like a single mountain. I remember many such events, but let me narrate to you what is important. During my lifetime I have seen the appearance and disappearance of countless Manus. Manu is the progenitor of the human race. At one time the world was devoid of the gods and the demons, but was one radiant cosmic egg. At another time the earth was populated by Brahmanas, members of the priest caste, who were addicted to alcohol. Shudras, servant caste, who ridiculed the gods, and by polyandrous women. I also remember another epoch when the earth was covered with forests, when the ocean could not even be imagined, and when human beings were spontaneously created. At another time there was neither mountain nor earth. The gods and the sages dwelt in space. At another time they were neither the gods nor the sages, etc. Darkness prevailed everywhere. First there arose the notion of creation, then light and the division of the universe arose. Then one after the other the diverse beings were created, as also the stars and the planets. I saw that during one epoch it was Lord Vishnu generally considered the protector, who created the universe. During another it was Brahma who created the universe, and in another it was Shiva who became the creator. It's possible that there's an attempt here to combine various contradictory strands in Hindu mythology. Bhusunda continued, "Of course, I remember sages like you, goddesses like Gauri, demons like Hiranyaksha, kings like Sibi, of the recent past and of a bygone age. O sage, this is the 8th time you have taken birth as sage Vasishta, and this is the 8th time we meet each other. At one time you were born of space, at another of water, at another of wind, at another of a mountain, and then of fire. Whatever is happening in the present creation has happened exactly in the same manner during 3 previous creations, but I remember the events of 10 such creations." There's a note from the translator here. Then follows a list of major world events, all of which were not repeated all the time in every creation, accounting for the differences in the number of times Bhusunda witnessed them. A few of them are reproduced here to illustrate this. "In every age there have been sages who propounded the truth and revealed the Vedas. There have been Vyasas who wrote down the legends or prehistoric tales, and time and again Valmiki composed the sacred Ramayana. In addition to that, a sacred book of wisdom, which contains your instructions to Rama, has also been recorded by a sage known as Valmiki. Originally it was 100,000 verses. In this age too it will again be recorded by Valmiki for the 12th time. Then there was an equally great scripture known as Bharata, which has been forgotten. In order to destroy the demons, Lord Vishnu takes birth again and again as Ram. He will be born in this age for the 11th time, and Lord Vishnu will incarnate as Krishna for the 16th time. However, all this is illusory appearance. The world as such is not a reality. It seems to be real to the deluded mind. It arises and it ceases in the twinkling of an eye, like ripples on the ocean. The 3 worlds were similar during some epochs, and in other epochs they were utterly dissimilar. On account of all these differences, in every age I have new friends, new relatives, new servants, and new dwellings. Sometimes I dwell in the Himalayas, at other times in the Malaya mountains, and at other times, on account of inherited tendencies, I take my abode here in this nest. Even the directions change from age to age. Because I alone have survived even the night of the Creator Brahma, I know the truth about these changes. Depending upon the position of the poles and the movements of the stars, the sun and the moon, the directions, north, east, etc., are determined. When these change, the directions change. But I know that this world is neither real nor unreal. The only reality is the movement of energy within the cosmic consciousness. I would say the movement of the attention. This, on account of deluded understanding, appears as this creation and disappears. Such delusion also causes confusion of relationships and duties. In some ages the son behaves like the father, friend like an enemy, and man like woman. Sometimes in the Dark Age, people behave as if the Golden Age prevails, and vice versa.